All right, welcome to another episode of Aussies Taking Over the NBA. You are live with Ben and Andrew. We are going over a few games. That's Ben. I'm Andrew. Subscribe to us. You can see it all now. Thank you to Silent Audio Labs. Hashtag The Collective is our podcast group. Network.
We're in the Collective Studios.
We're in the Collective Studios. You can see our lovely technology in the background. All our
One day we'll get that TV to do stuff.
Yeah, my Sydney Kings car was from 1996.
Nice.
Some money box. There's no money.
Nice crossover too because of how Bogut's going. Yeah, that's
exactly. So if you're an American, and you're a Warriors fan for per se, and you want to learn about Bogut's season in the NBL, you can go back and look at any of our podcasts on this Kings Dime.
Yeah, on the Kings Dime.
And check that out. Around the traps, nothing's been happening too much in the NBA in terms of things. Obviously, the Lakers, LeBron out for the first time in many years.
Dethroned.
He went into postseason mode early this year and got chunked.
Did you steal that?
No, that's what he did. He said, "I've got it." Like 10 games, he was like, "I've gone into postseason mode," and then just died.
That's great. Even if that wasn't a dig at LeBron, that was great. He's gone in there early and got chunked.
He's just gone chunked. So, pretty terrible team at the Lakers, to be completely honest with you. And I don't see Luke Walton.
They had some injury problems too, to be honest.
They had some injury problems, but, what can you do per se?
Yeah, that's true. Anything else, really?
Not really. It's kind of
Kings have disappeared.
Sacramento?
Yeah,
they're not. I think we're set now. I think the East is probably more.
Yeah, the East is still a bit of a bloodbath. Charlotte won some games.
They've won some big games actually. Crazy buzzer beater today. We won't obviously go through that game because it's not part of the Aussies, but.
Bainesy's was out for that game.
Yeah, so
that's all right. We might have a bit of a chat about that. Yeah, but Miami, Orlando's still on for that 8 seed, and then Detroit still might even fall. And
Brooklyn might fall if they have a bad run of games. They're kind of up and down recently.
That's true. I did have the things here, but I think I threw it out the notes from last week with all the people who are playing, who's playing who in terms of Aussies.
I think
Philly, I think's pretty much cemented their spot in the top.
They've cemented their top three. I think.
Which is good.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be playing Detroit, Charlotte, or Orlando, or Miami first round.
Just not really. Detroit or Boston, please. Like, do we have to do that?
I don't mind Detroit. I mean, it seems...
I don't want them to lose to Detroit, and everyone's just like, whoa, Detroit came from nowhere.
I don't think so. I just don't think Embiid is just too good for Drummond.
Yeah.
I think that... Yeah, they just don't have the depth.
Kennard's looking pretty good.
Yeah, Kennard's always look good, but I just don't think they have the depth per se. Shall we get into some games?
We should. First game is obviously Bucks at Cavs.
No Aussies. Delhi's still on concussion protocol. That's been a little while now.
That's scary.
Even Gordon Hayward came back after a concussion, so he still mustn't be getting some headaches or something.
I haven't heard anything else either to say that he's out.
Yeah.
He might have already just come out and then he's out and not been playing and they're just kind of resting him or limiting his minutes, but he hasn't even made any appearances at all. That's kind of a worry, man. You know, in terms of his own personal health and fitness, nobody wants lingering concussion symptoms because they're
debilitating. They really are.
Yeah, they're really sort of bad for all aspects of your mental game, your physical game. Like, they're going to keep you out for a while. Like, it's almost kind of like a Chris Bosh's blood clots type injury that
Brandon Ingram, same injury
thing
in
where
the arm.
It goes beyond your ability to just get on the court. It becomes a real issue with your own personal health as well. We obviously don't want him to stay out. We obviously need him also for the end of the season for the Boomers as well. So that's a bit of a worry. And then Dengadil's been playing in the G League with the Charge.
And doing really well. Putting up some good numbers. Then as soon as he gets called back up, they're just like, there's this guy standing in the corner screaming for the ball and no one passes to him. And Colin Sexton just goes on the ISO attack.
So are the Charge any chance of making the finals?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
They're 11th. No, it doesn't look like
they're out. It's a shame. We should have stayed with the Raptors. I think they were in a pretty...
Yeah, they're coming fourth in the East. But it's all experience plus, man, playing in the NBA. I'd kind of give all of that up. kind of give all the G League up just to play in the NBA.
Yeah, definitely.
For him. We'll move on to the Bucks at the 76ers, and this was a massive win.
This was a massive win. You could tell that it really meant a lot. I think the Sixers played very hard down the stretch. But let's talk about Milwaukee. Malcolm Brogdon out for a long time has really hurt their chances,
That's
I think,
big,
of adding that title possibility. Like, he's a 50, 40, 90 guy. Great season he's having. Really lacked depth at that shooting guard spot. You kind of got Tony Snell, and, they were really... Brogdon was putting up between 14 and 25 a night. They haven't got the depth of scoring I think they liked. Pat Connaughton's just gone cold as ice. Disappeared. It's just Giannis putting up ridiculous numbers. Giannis goes down for any playoff game and they're pretty much done.
And then I think, who'd they sign as well from Pelicans? Mirotic. He's got injured as well.
And Pau Gasol is out for the rest of the season as well.
Oh, what,
till the postseason anyway. I mean,
wow.
Who cares? But
yeah, that's still like... Their depth is at the forward spots. It's not at the guard spots, which obviously I'm not sure if you would bank on having Delhi at the end of the season in that Bucks team. No. But it's kind of come back a little bit. And even Thon.
The Thon.
It's a bit of a worry for them. But Giannis, didn't Giannis have like 52 in this game?
He had 52 in this game. And he dunked over Simmons, and Simmons came back and dunked over him.
Yeah, that was massive. He called him like a baby, and it was...
Called him a effing crybaby. Yeah. And then was flexing on him. Then Simmons came back and pretty much dunked over him and win the game. And then he had a big and one down the stretch as well, didn't he, that game?
Yeah, he hit the free throws too. That was good to see. But a good tune-up for Philly, I think. To kind of...
Philly are weird. They've played really well against the elite teams. Like, they've gone up there and played well, and then they'll go and mung to Atlanta and just play terribly.
Crazy streaky. Like they're like
they played terribly. Like, Embiid was just horrible down the end.
Yeah, he was.
He was just terrible. Just bad decisions. Jimmy Butler, too much ISO for Jimmy for one period of time, and yeah, it wasn't a pretty down the stretch sight. But this game was a fantastic game to watch. Good win.
Hang on, did we go through this game last week? I think we did.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, you sure?
No, we didn't. We didn't get to this one. Because we didn't. Because, I didn't remember the Jazz in New York. But we go into the Jazz in New York.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Joe Ingles back to some shooting form.
Oh, yeah, nice.
6 of 9. Yeah, plus 23. 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Good win for the Jazz. The Jazz are coming home strong. Probably sneak into that 7th spot in the West.
Yeah, it's a bit of a run and gun.
I like the Nuggets to play first round. Like, if the Jazz get there, I think they'll take the Nuggets to town. I think they've got the big man to do it, potentially.
Yeah.
In Gobert. Donovan Mitchell having a cracking season. I don't think they need a point guard per se. I just think they need to let Mitchell just take it over.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect scenario for the playoffs. Just give him the keys to the offense and let him go. They've obviously got Joe Ingles to fall back on. He's doing a lot of playmaking this year. Gobert's found a little bit of a vein of form too. He's looking a little bit quicker and maybe getting a bit more intense.
Maybe that snub, the All-Star snub, where he had a bit of a whinge and cry, he's kind of like come out and was like, yeah, I need to do this.
Yeah, maybe. I think they're a postseason type of team now. They're kind of morphing towards...
They're morphing towards just playing and then playing a matchup. I mean, Quinn Snyder's a good coach as well.
Yeah, it's not a rhythm type of team. They're not a team that's going to play rhythm basketball.
They give you very different games from week to week. Very, very different games. Whereas, your Bucks, your Philly, your Golden State, that you kind of know what you're getting, but the Jazz can play very differently in different situations, which I think is good, but... it's a bit of a dark horse postseason because we really don't know what they're going to get and how they're going to match up.
So right now, Denver and Utah at this stage, if the playoffs came tomorrow, that's who they'd be playing. The Warriors obviously winning today. They went back to the top, 50 wins. First team with 50 wins in the East, in the West rather. The East already has 2 50-win teams, so they would be playing a away final if it was the Raptors and the Bucks, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. New York, just the trash, man, of the NBA.
Something to come out of New York, I think it's good. It's not Kevin Knox. It's not Frank Ntilikina or whatever it is.
Niltalinka.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Man, it's Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
That dude is a beast.
Looking pretty good.
2.4 blocks a game on 19 minutes.
Rookie season. This is rookie season.
Rookie season. Yeah. Not playing a lot to begin with, but just come out of the woodworks and is playing like a big ball man.
Yeah.
It's great to see something come out of what has just been an absolute trash season.
Yeah, it's kind of... a calculated trash season, really.
They're tanking.
Hard, yeah.
But they've been tanking for years.
Wow, 36th pick in the second round.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think...
Considering some of the bigs that went before him, that's a good
man.
pickup for them.
His dimensions are big. He's got big, broad shoulders. He's just been... His timing's impeccable.
And then losing Kristaps, obviously, that's a big sort of thing. But
yeah, but I think they wanted to get rid of him.
Yeah, well, it's worked out. They've at least got some people there, and I think Kanter went to Portland as well, didn't he?
Well, they got some draft picks out of everything, and I think they're pretty happy with that. Look, David Fizdale for me, turd. I think he's just there to have a party in New York. Well, it just seems like he's always smiling. Why are you smiling? Your team is turd.
It's hard, it's kind of like the Real Madrid of basketball, you know?
Yeah, but Real Madrid at least wins.
But at least at Real Madrid, it's kind of just a circus where you can't go in there and just like, right, this is what I want to do with this team. It's like, no, you can't do that. Oh, right, so I'm just here kind of doing whatever then. Yeah. And then
just like a front for the Italian mob.
Well, it's a front for James Dolan, really.
Yeah.
So I don't think you will see, unless in the next couple of years they start to actually build something that functions, you won't see what Fizdale is really. And at Memphis, he had a pretty good team, and he's not the worst coach.
No, he's not the worst coach, but
that group of players is just like a mess of a group. Yeah. So it is what it is. We'll move on to the Heat at the Spurs, and Spurs lost this game after, I think, going 10 or 11 straight.
Yeah,
they finally lost.
Yeah, they've had that little bit of they've cooling off period where I think Pop is strategically positioning them again against some team. Maybe it's Golden State. I don't know. There's got to be some strategy in there. Do they match up against Golden State better than Denver or OKC? Who knows? I think they're pretty much guaranteed a final spot. They'd have to have something pretty magical from. Who's ninth? I think the Kings, Sacramento.
The Kings are pretty much done. I think it's 36 and 43. What's that? 7
wins. They've got to win 7 out of 9.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Nah, it's not going to happen. It's pretty much set.
It's pretty much locked in.
Patty Mills is looking fantastic.
He's looking great, actually. Really
good. 17 points, 5 of 9, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, plus 10 on the night in a loss. Looking really good.
And we've said it all season. Important, mature, experienced veteran role. Coming off the bench. Yeah, no worries. I'll give you 20 minutes, 30 minutes off the bench. No worries.
Almost like that Lou Williams role.
Really taking the pressure off Derek White and Bryn Forbes, because both of those two have had really good seasons for their stature. Could be a little pop dark horse magic at the end of this season.
You don't know. They've been shooting the 3-ball really well. I think Davis Bertans has been playing fantastic. Yeah. Aldridge is playing. DeRozan, you don't know what you're going to get DeRozan postseason. Typically, DeRozan's been absolute trash postseason.
Yeah, and you just feel like, I feel like it's kind of coming. He's been a little bit hit and miss in clutch situations. Like, he was hitting clutch buckets against the Warriors, and then against the Rockets later on, we'll talk about it. Like, he couldn't hit anything. It's LaMarcus just came off 48 today. So you never know, man. It could be a little pop masterclass.
Yeah. You never count Pop out.
Nah. So what about Miami, man? Miami coming in at the...
there was a great quote today. I don't know who it was from, but it said that the Heat should be fined for letting D-Wade retire. He's still good, man.
Yeah, he's still pretty good.
He's still good. Yeah. Like, hitting some buzzer beaters, hitting some half-court shots. You know, it's going to be sad to see him go. He's been a fantastic player.
It's probably time, though. Like,
he's only 34.
Is he?
Yeah.
No, he's older than that. Isn't he 38?
What's LeBron? 34.
Yeah.
He's the same draft class?
It's not the same, surely. 37.
He's 37?
Yeah.
I thought he was the same draft class as LeBron.
Nah, 37. But I think pretty much everyone from LeBron's draft class is retired.
Maybe it was
gone out of the league.
Did Wade go to college? Maybe that's why it was.
Dwayne Wade, Marquette.
I think he was in 03. He's in 03.
Straight to the Heat. And then they won, I think, in 2005, 2 years after he was drafted, with Shaq.
The Shaq
That's where
man.
He got the nickname The Flash. This dude's like Flash. Because he's running around all over the court. That guy's like Flash. That's a terrible Shaq impersonation.
It is, yeah.
I'll move on to the Mavs at the Blazers, and Rowdy Ryan broke off. Little stutter into life in this
Starting
game.
to come back into the fray, I think, down the stretch of games.
5 minutes, garbage time, 3 points, 1 of 2 from 3 rebounds, plus 8. What can we say about Dallas? I mean,
they're waiting for the Porzingis effect to take hold, I think.
I think there's a two-year window. Even Luka Doncic is starting to cool off a little bit.
I think he's just like, it's game over. They're waiting for the Porzingis effect to take in. They're going to get some good draft picks. They're second last in the West.
Yeah.
They're in there with some lottery picks potential. You know, they're going to get a top 8 pick. You know, you draft well. You got Doncic. You got Porzingis next year. It's not unheard of to add a little bit of depth. I think 2 years. I think Doncic needs to cook for about another year. I mean, he's getting triple doubles. I think he's at 6 this year. I mean, in a team that's losing, it means absolutely nothing, though. You got to be winning, but he's not got a great roster around him. Let's be real.
No, well,
Rick Carlisle is not playing a great brand of basketball.
No, it's very old world type stuff. And we said halfway through the season they basically done what we were saying they should do. They need to just get everything
just blow it up.
Doncic and everything else is expendable, and they got rid of a lot of stuff. And DeAndre, they just. See you later. Whew, that was a bit harsh. But who knows how Porzingis will go. I still think, there's probably 2 or 3 years of growth there. Couple of bigs maybe, and then maybe another guard. But I want to see Brokoff get more minutes, and then, he's the perfect guy to throw in 3-and-D. Doesn't get any minutes, so...
Well, yes. Not this game, but it has been a little bit more. Just a bit of a FYI spoiler alert.
Yeah,
we'll move on to the Jazz and the Hawks. And the Hawks are a good scalp here.
I'm telling you, man. The Hawks are sneaky good.
Yeah, they are sneaky good. I mean, Trae Young has gone from Trae Young to Trae Young is actually, hit the league. He's hitting some good shots, facilitating very well. They've got a good young core of players. Vince Carter's going to go around for another season. 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years till they're back above 500, I think.
Well, I think, what did I say? 5, I think, in the last
3 years till they're back above 500. I'm not talking about winning or, being title contenders, but I think 3 years till they're back above 500. I think Trae Young, Herter kind of grow.
Even Taurean Prince has been really
good. Prince, their bigs are pretty... Dwayne Dedman's pretty bad. Alex Len's pretty trash.
Pretty bad. Yeah, they need a couple of good bigs.
Yeah, good bigs. They don't really have a...
They do have a Plumlee.
Yeah, everyone's got a Plumlee. Doesn't mean it's good. They've got lack of depth at certain spots throughout the season. I think that's really hurt them. But they've
look, they bring in 3 or 4 good players, maybe a couple of forwards and two extra guards.
Yeah, they need a solid power forward.
Justin Anderson, what kind of seasons he had?
He's injured. He's playing trash minutes pretty much. Played well in Philly. I actually really liked him in Philly. Locked down Houston. James Harden.
Really?
Yeah. Back end of the season. I think he's a good 3-and-D player. Just had a bad injury off season. I think that really set him back. Hopefully this year gets back up, but a good prospect for the future as some depth bench rotation.
Yeah, so if you look at Trae Young, 20, John Collins, 21, Taurean Prince, 24, Herter, 20, going further down, Alex Len, 20, still only 25, Spellman, 21. There's a lot of good young players there, man.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah.
But there's a lot of trash there too. You got obviously Dedman. Bazemore is probably going to leave at the end of this season.
Yeah, look, 2 years if they get above 500, I'll be shocked. I think 3 years, definitely getting above 500. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes. I think that they're not going to really be a threat in the East for a fair little bit. You know what? We thought Boston was going to be dynastic. That's fallen apart. Kyrie's gone. Rozier's off.
Yeah, that's just fallen.
It's just fallen so far from the tree.
But then again, they could just come into the playoffs, turn it on, and then...
I think they will.
Yeah.
I think they will. If they match up against Indiana, it's going to be a great first round.
Yeah, it's still kind of probably the worst matchup of the series, to watch.
Oh, it'll be terrible to watch.
Yeah, it'll be awful to watch.
It'll be 83 versus 79. It'll just be lockdown defense from the Celtics and no one shooting.
Yeah, because they don't have that rapid scoring really.
Well, they do,
unless it's Uncle Drew going mental.
Uncle Drew going mental, but Terry Rozier I think hit 4 from 4 to start against Philly, and then next week hit 2 shots. Philly just seems to get these guys to get super hot because it's just it's Philly. We want to take down the process.
Yeah,
I think they're really with the ones with the target on their head.
Philly,
yeah.
I think Philly's got a really good chance anyway because they made the moves. They've got some real solidity, and I think they exercised the demons in that Celtics game. I think we were supposed to talk Celtics 76ers, not Bucks 76ers before.
That's right. We can talk.
We should talk about that now anyway. But that game, it exercised a lot of those demons where it felt like Boston could just try and wind them up, and Philly had nothing. You know what I mean? We know we can get in your head, and that's going to put you off the game. In this game, it felt like they tried to get in their head, and it didn't work.
Well, it landed in Marcus Smart getting ejected. Because Embiid said that his hair looked like udon noodles and he had pubes on his face.
Classic. Top notch. That's top notch Embiid.
But yeah, Simmons was good this game. I think Simmons has really struggled against Boston. I mean, he didn't stack the stat sheet that much, but 13 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks. His blocks are being underrated. He's blocking
Defense has been fantastic.
Defense, he's a premier defender. 3 from 4 at the line. Embiid had 37 and 22. Butler 22.
Bainesy busted his ankle.
So Harris 21, Redick 17. Big numbers from the starting 5. Look, in a shorted rotation, the starting 5 on the floor with James Ennis as a backup, maybe some...
How's Ennis looking?
Not bad. Good length.
James Ennis,
James Ennis. It is what you get. Mike Scott maybe hitting some threes.
Mike Scott's got that JR about him, though. Just feast or famine. You can just get hot.
Yeah, but you can just get him off. Whereas JR Smith, you're just like, no, man, I'm not coming off. I'm JR Smith. Whereas Mike Scott, like, yeah, I'm out. Sorry, boys, not hitting them tonight. Boban, who was pretty useless, but hit his first 3 ball.
Yeah, that was in the game today.
Yesterday. Yeah. It's just like, man, Ben Simmons. The challenge has been set,
man. Apparently, he's draining him in training as well.
He's draining him for the logo at All Star Weekend, like routinely.
Why does he shoot him? I think he's got a bit of a stats thing going on.
I don't think it's a stats thing. I think it's a mental thing. He needs to see a psych coach because. No, honestly, because
he needs to find Fultz as a psychologist.
Oh, don't know, man. Don't find Fultz a psychologist. Jesus Christ, that's the last thing you want to do. That's his mum, isn't it? That's his mum and his psychologist. That ended badly.
But hey, no one's talking about it, man. That ended probably the best it could have ended because no one has talked about that at all.
No, we got Jonathan Simmons and a pick.
Yeah, and number 1 pick. No one is even talking about. No one's going, they got rid of a number 1 pick.
No one's like. Everyone's like, yeah, well done, boys. That was well done.
Nice one. You did that.
Elson Brad.
Did you listen to that Brett Brown interview that I sent you?
No.
That was actually a really interesting interview. Good coach. But we should move on to Pistons at the Suns and win for the Pistons. Thonotron, 28 minutes, 10 points, 2 of 4, 1 of 2 from 3.
He's looking better. Definitely block hunting. And they're allowing him to block hunt at Detroit. It's kind of like, yeah, dude, you get in the 4 and block hunt. That's what you're meant to do. But he's looking a lot better. It's good to be seen in the postseason. I think he's a big postseason player. And again, if you match it up against Philly early on, it'll be some Aussie on Aussie crime.
Yeah,
I don't think we're going to see Jonah Bolden postseason at all.
Not against a team like I think
he's had a good first season. I think he found his place. I think he's going to be good coming into next year if they don't re-sign Butler. As some depth along it, as potentially a stretch 4. I don't think they should ever play him at 5. He's not a center. He's a stretch 4. So I think he's going to be good there, but we won't see him in the postseason. The shortened rotations means it'll be Ennis, Boban for a few minutes, TJ for 6 minutes a night, and just we'll
They've
see.
got a pretty good just crew of misfits.
Yeah. But, I mean, so does the Celtics. The Celtics have got depth, but it seems to be that depth isn't doing much. Jaylen Brown goes off for 31 night and then scores nothing for the next 6 nights. But, again, postseason, they all turned it on last year.
Yeah, that's true.
But good win for the Pistons. Again, but the Pistons could chunk out here. I mean, there's 9 games. There's 3 wins between 9th and 7th or 6th.
So Nets 38, Detroit 37, Miami 36, Orlando 35, Charlotte 34.
Not that much room.
There's but they kind of showed that they could win some games. Like they just get some wins, a few wins here and there.
Yeah, Detroit, they went on a kind of a tear there. But the last 2 games against good opponents, Hornets have just pulled it out.
Yeah, coming back from behind. Yeah, it's crazy. Jeremy Lamb with that 3 today, and then against Celtics, we'll talk about that a little bit later. The Suns. Yeah, the Suns.
They signed Jimmer Fredette.
Yeah, everyone loves that guy. That's going back a little bit too far for me, I guess.
Who names their child Jimmer? No, seriously. What is Jimmer? Where is that from? Is this like we got drunk and forgot it was Jim?
James Taft Fredette.
Okay, so Jimmer's why Jimmer?
A nickname.
What is with Jimmer?
Don't know. We're Aussie.
Yeah.
What about good old fashioned Aussie names like Tyler or Zach? But yeah, Suns are the Suns. Man, Mavs Kings. Brokoff gets some minutes. Rowdy Ryan Brokoff.
And plays well.
17 minutes, 13 points, 4 of 6 from 3. All of his shots from 3, 1 of 2 at the line. 2 rebounds and assist. The Kings, man.
High hopes.
Yeah.
Good play.
Bagley got injured. And
not the experience.
Nah, Bagley got injured.
3 seasons. Buddy Hield, Bagley, De'Aaron Fox.
They're going to be scary, I think, in a few years under Jaeger, because Jaeger's just like fast. We're already going as fast as we can, Captain. Faster. It's crazy,
run. It's just a bunch of road runners. They look good, but again, they chunk in games. But again, they took it to the Sixers and they beat the Sixers this year. We'll go for the Pacers and the Warriors. Bogut.
Yeah, back on home turf.
4 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, it was good.
2 from 2
really well. The Warriors actually play really well defensively in this game. The scoreline doesn't really reflect how well they played, but you hold
the Pacers to 89. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's massive. Total rebounds 7, 3 defensive rebounds, 4 offensive boards, 2 of 2 at the line, 1 of 8 from the field. His offense still looks really awful in an NBA setting.
Yeah, but what do you do?
It's no one thinks he's going to put up 8 shots a night. 4 or 5 maybe. He had a little down the lane, a little behind the back dribble today that was nice. It's good to see. He still looks leggy. He kind of still looks really just. I don't know if those legs are coming back, man.
I suppose it is what it is.
It is. And I think for what the Warriors fans, like the hardcore Bay Area fans...
Yeah, but they love him just because he's
they needed the injection of love. Like, wow, it's a story.
It's like Kevin Durant wants to go, but hey, Bogut's back,
Yeah, how good is this? Like, it's a story, but I think it's dawning on people that it's just like, ooh, he's just not the same 2014 Bogut. And fair enough.
It's 5 years.
Yeah, I know.
Come on,
fair
guys.
enough. And the league's changed. Like I was saying on the King's Time podcast, like these teams have gotten better at just getting people in the way of stuff.
Yeah.
And what the Warriors were doing in 2014, where it's like Bogut rub screens and Bogut setting bone-crushing screens, nearly every team does that now.
Yeah.
And it's not a unique thing, and you just got to deal with it. But we won't harp on too much about the Warriors because I'm sure everyone will get upset.
Yeah.
Clips at the Cavs, no Aussies.
No Aussies.
The Clips did get a win, though. The Clips are just kind of just quietly sneaking up into the 5 spot.
Yeah, Doc Rivers is a good coach.
Yeah, he's not bad. He won a championship with Boston. It's still Jerry West, man. You invest in Jerry West, and you get the best.
Yeah, that's it.
Because he got rid of all those 3 guys, and suddenly there's just some nice growing shoots in this team. Harrell, obviously. Gallinari's come back and just had an insanely good stretch. Purple patch. Hopefully it doesn't die in the playoffs.
I don't see them getting out of the first. They're probably the team least likely to get out of the first round. That's my feeling. We've just said, how the hell have they been there this whole year? And
they're playing purely on
they've
adrenaline.
Lost. Yeah, because they've lost Harris, which is a big loss. They've lost Boban, he played minimally, but good gimmick. Man, I'd love to see Boban versus Taco Fall. That's going to be next year.
Fall, yeah, that's crazy. Because what's Taco Fall? 7'6"?
7'6".
Jeez.
And he's apparently
he looks like a fully max 2K player.
He does, because he doesn't.
Weird.
He runs. He doesn't look like Boban. Boban kind of runs strangely, right?
Like a gargoyle.
But
like he has like
Taco
stone legs.
looks like he is just massive. That picture where he's next to Zion, and Zion's just like, he's a foot taller than Zion Williamson.
Yeah, and looks bigger, like wider and taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude is just hilarious. But this is what the NBA has come to. It's coming to...
I feel like there's going to be more of these weird freak players.
Well, I think you look at like Manute Bol back in the days, they didn't have the sports science to bring these guys up. They just picked him straight out of Africa and said, you come and play some basketball. Whereas they've gone Taco 4. They've gone, right, this guy's 7'6". We're going to take him through a program all the way through high school.
Yeah.
And so he actually looks like a body.
Yeah, actually exercising the areas of your body that you need to
grow.
Because you've got such big limbs. Yeah.
So the dynamics of the science behind how they're bringing these guys through means that they're not freaks anymore.
Nah.
They're functional basketball players. He finished the highest this season, his college season with UCF, highest field goal percentage in ever. Yeah. 73%.
But how much
656 shots.
How much does he outrange the next tallest
Probably
player?
7'1", 7'2". Like, it's just...
It's like when Boban just puts his hand up and puts it through. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to see. But we're getting a bit sidetracked. We should talk about Spurs at the Rockets. I'm just not a big fan of Harden's game, man. Great stuff. Good on him. Great isolation player. But it's just antics, man. Are just annoying.
It's like, it's the kind of guy you want to see in the 3v3 hustle.
Yeah.
Or like big three. Like, man, this guy's all like, Harlem Globetrotters. Now it's just like, clear everyone out. I do like the meme. It was just like, PJ Tucker and Harden combining for 61 points tonight. Great teamwork. And it's PJ Tucker 0 and Harden 61.
But PJ's actually been really good this season.
Defensively, he's just a nugget.
But yeah, this game pretty much hinged on DeRozan coming down and putting up a shot, and his hand kind of flicked Harden's beard, and Harden threw himself on the ground. And then they went on a 9-0 run and pretty much won the game. And I think it was like 99-95, and then they went 9-0. It was 104-99, and then that was it. And it's just annoying, man. I hate seeing that. The Spurs played really well, actually. They're playing quite well. LaMarcus played really well. But just no karma, man. It's going to come back to bite them if you keep doing these sorts of things, man.
Indeed.
Celtics at the Hornets. Good win, man. I watched the end of this game. Kemba was just going off, man. It's crazy. Bainesy's obviously still injured. That ugly retro court, man. That's a horrible court.
It was horrible. Yeah, it's just
that would be really bad for net, and then the honeycomb in the middle. It's just awful.
I think Michael Jordan have a bit more of a tact or taste when it came to that.
Yeah, I think it's old school CRT, and looked really good on CRT TVs. God damn it. But Kemba, dude, he was ridiculous at the end of this game, just getting to the basket. At will. I think somebody had a steal under the basket all the way at the other end, and then hit it to Bridges, and then Bridges passed it in, and it was just. But the Celtics kind of look like we want to pass it around as crunch time offense.
Yeah.
And Uncle Drew's like, I'm Uncle Drew, Uncle Drew, and this is what we do. And everyone, instead of just going, all righty, all Uncle Drew, let's just facilitate him Uncle Drew.
Yeah.
They kind of just go, we don't want to do this. This sucks. And that's their body language. Yeah. It's kind of weird. And then even Tatum, you kind of see his body language, and he's gone from something.
He's gone from this is a good prospect to someone that's just he's off to New Orleans next year. They're going for Anthony Davis. And, as a player, that must be hard to think, all right, this is my final year in Boston. I love Boston. This has been great. But I don't trust you, Brad Stevens, because look what you did to IT for Kyrie.
I don't know if that was Brad Stevens. I think that was more like Danny Ainge and the front office situation. But man, you get the chance to get Kyrie. Come on, you do that you do that trade 9 times out of 10.
Has not brought them a championship.
Yeah,
didn't even bring them to a final.
Tatum still just, instead of taking a step back and going, all right, I am still a second year player.
Yeah,
kind of looks like he's like a kid who wants to stomp on the court. Give me the ball. Yeah, I want the ball, guys. Come on, and it shows in his body language, man. I'm not obviously we're body language experts on the podcast, but you can see it, and his intensity driving to the rim looks down to me.
I mean, ISO. You look at his ISO stats, worse than the league, 35%.
And then
field goal on ISO. So
crunch time in this game, they went to a few different things, which all pretty much ended in the ball in Kyrie Irving's hands and him just trying to do something, and everyone just being like, here he goes again.
It'll work on a team like the Knicks.
I don't understand whether that's going to translate. I'm worried about whether that's going to translate in playoff time, because this team now looks like a team that was quite together with a few options up their sleeve to now just being one thread, and the whole thing could unravel.
Well, they actually look better without Kyrie. The whole time.
It's crazy.
Even though it's Kyrie, they look better with it. He's just one of those guys that's just going to blow up teams just because he's Kyrie and he's a bit strange. All right, we'll move on to the 76ers chunking to the Hawks.
Yeah, how was that?
Great finish from Trae Young. I've called him Mung most of the year, but he's earned his last name back. Simmons had a bit of a feast, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals and 2 blocks.
I think he's ascended from the Trae Mung type.
He has ascended.
We can put that
back in the thing. Again, it doesn't really matter. The Sixers have gone through, but we'll just say this. They went to the Jimmy Butler fourth quarter effect. Didn't work. Embiid, terrible down the stretch. Their body language is we're not going to play hard. We've qualified. We're just going to try and win this purely on offense and do some offense, but we're not going to put that here. They look tired. 5 good wins against good, strong teams playing hard, so you can understand this. But Atlanta seems to have they
kind of just play jumpers. At one pace. They play at one pace.
Yeah.
It's we got nothing to play for. We'll just play at this pace. And everyone goes, oh, do we really want to roll the dice on playing at their pace? We'll just let them have it.
I think it just looked like, no one really cared. All right, we'll move on to the Jazz and Bulls. And the Jazz steamrolling the Bulls.
I didn't write the score down.
That's right.
A steamroller.
It was a steamroller. Jingles. Man, he's playing well.
Oh, 114.83. So smashed them.
Smashed
I
them.
think it was like 75-40 at one point.
Yeah, garbage time. Yeah, the Bulls have had like 46 through three quarters or something. It was something terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
Something terrible.
I think Levine's out.
Yeah.
Otto Porter's out. Levine's out. And then beyond that, it's kind of just
trash.
Yeah.
Just mess. Gobert, 21 points, 14 rebounds. Getting back to double-double city. Ingles, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Didn't shoot the night too well, but still plus 13 a night. Mitchell was just going to town. Rubio's looking not too bad down the stretch. I just think that, the dark horse, the Jazz and the Spurs, you just don't know what you're going to get from them postseason.
It could be really bad. It could be really good.
It could be. I don't know. I'd like to see the Jazz postseason go deep, really.
Who are they going to play at the moment? So Nuggets. I can see them winning in a series against the Nuggets, but it kind of like was last year where they beat OKC and then just got steamrolled by Houston. But
Houston were a different team last year. Houston were very unlucky not to win that last year. They had a much better team than they do this year. And obviously some Golden State Magic stopped them at that. But don't have Exum guarding Harden this year if you do get it up against Houston. You don't know. You don't know what you're going to get from them. And, injuries, it's deep postseason. It's a harder game.
So it kind of feels like the Jazz will have one big crazy first round. Whoa, the Jazz, they're here. And then it looked like they spent it all in last season's first round.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like the same, like they might spend it all in the first round again and then just get bounced out by someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, good on them. I wish they had that 60 win season that I predicted at the start of the season, but they haven't. They've come home pretty strong, so it's good.
Yeah. Roland comment, Rubio is better than people think. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. He's, do you take Mike Conley in that direct Rubio trade during the year and take Mike Conley in the postseason? Well,
I probably would.
I probably would. Yeah.
But
just for your end game scenario where it doesn't rely on Mitchell to take 15 shots through traffic, where you can get Conley deep and shooting the three ball quite well. So
Rubio's a funny player because if nobody was around Rubio that was good, it'd be fine. Like you'd be like, yeah, Rubio runs the point, he's a good playmaker, he can get to the rim. You probably don't want him shooting, 9 or 10 jump shots a game. But when you got a guy like Mitchell, it's still kind of the Luka Doncic thing where it's just like, right, just get rid of all your guards and just have Mitchell.
Yeah.
And I think probably Rubio's too good to be in the category of just get rid of that guy.
Like, yeah, exactly.
And even Exum's kind of the same way. It's too good to be like, he's useful inside. And I think Rubio is also on ball. Rubio's quite a good defender.
Yeah.
It's just he takes shots where you're just like, don't take those shots, man. Please stop taking those shots.
Give that to Donovan or give that to Ingles in the corner. But again, it's the Ingles facilitation route. They've got 3 facilitators in their starting team. What do you do?
He's also been in that system for a couple of years, and he kind of runs good pick and roll too. That's the other thing. He's actually really astute.
This is why we picked them for 60 wins, is because they had so little change going into the season. We thought these guys are going to gel well together and get there. But hey, they started off rough, tough, but they've come home strong.
It's good,
and that is good. Shall we move on to Detroit and Portland?
Warriors.
Warriors.
Blew a massive bag of chunks to
the
Mavs. That game was hilarious. Rowdy Ryan Brokoff, though, just phenomenal. He played fantastic.
He did.
Just made me sit there and just go, why is he not playing 16 minutes a game?
You just think,
why?
This is what the Boomers are going to get.
Yeah, man.
Come July. This is Boomer time.
He's developed the shot off the dribble too. Like he can one dribble to the side step. Like he can create his own shot in isolation.
Maybe he's been working a lot of stuff we haven't seen. Obviously coming out of Europe, just being a real knockdown shooter, you're going to have to craft your game again. It might get picked up by another team, but I think he did his time in Europe so effectively that he got picked up by the Mavs. Maybe next year Rick Carlisle will run a obscure team, because if you got Kristaps and you got Luka, you can't have a conventional old school style. It's got to be gimmicky.
Yeah, it has to be.
Because the Bucks have proven that this gimmicky style of play is what works. You surround them, you let Luka take the ball over, and you surround with shooters, and you shoot the ball.
I don't really want to play this way, but we have to play this way. Offense is what he runs, really.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like he's managing the stagger of this team in any kind of way that's going to benefit the team. Plus, like, they're tanking too. Like, you got to take that into account, that they're obviously trying to lose games to try and get that pick a little bit higher. And I look at Brokoff. Obviously, it just annoys me that I look at Brokoff and just go, that's the perfect guy to just give 18 minutes, 25 if he's having a good night in that spot. But then they got Jackson, they got Tim Hardaway, they've got some other things there that they need to kind of give minutes to and try and test out. They're throwing a little bit at the wall and hoping it sticks.
Yeah.
But there's more to Brokoff's game that we've seen. Like, even you and I have noticed at the start, we said at the start of the season, like, this guy can play off the dribble and can create in the lane. He came across and set up a nice lob for Powell, like he off the dribble. He hit a couple of threes really early. He got an offensive board and kind of went back up and put that in over the top. Like, against smaller guards, if he was playing at the shooting guard, there's a spot there for a guy like him. Like, he hustles on defense. He's very astute, very, very high IQ. The shot wasn't really falling. And I've got to, even as someone who really likes him and really wants to see him do well, the shot wasn't really falling at the start of the season at all. And but in this game, 25 minutes, 17 points, 6 of 8, 2 of 4 from 3, 3 of 3 at the line. One offensive board, obviously, put that back. Nice little floater. 4 defensive rebounds. 2 assists. One of them was obviously that lob to Powell. 19. Man, they were just blown out by second quarter. They just destroyed them. I think Dirk Nowitzki hit 3 threes or 2 threes and an inside jump shot. One over Quinn Cook. Basically, Quinn Cook came up to his hip and he's Dirk style. That
fading 7 foot.
I don't think he needed to fade. He just kind of shot it in with Quinn Cook right on his hip, and it just sucks that Dirk can't really move because he can still bloody shoot the ball, man.
Yeah, man. But it's time, and well done to him for the great farewell tour that he's had. Last game of the round that we will go over, Detroit and Portland. Portland win by 5. Thonotron had 16 minutes, 6 points, 2 rebounds and a block. Lillard doing what Lillard does best. Lillard. That dude's going to take them well deep into the postseason. I think I picked them as a good team this year. I haven't been wrong. Their depth is great.
They're probably going to finish in the 4 spot, probably 4-5. Clippers or the Thunder, depending on whether the Thunder.
I'd like to see them play the Thunder.
Fallen off a little bit. 4
they
and
have.
6. Or the Jazz.
Wouldn't like to see them play the Jazz, but I'd like to see them play the Thunder.
It's kind of a waste of a series. I want to see Thunder play like either Nuggets or the Rockets.
Yeah, but that's that's not going to happen. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. We subscribe, like us on Facebook.
Yeah,
like us on Facebook, people. It's always good to share. We'll keep you up to date with everything that we can around Aussies. If you're overseas, welcome to Aussies Taking Over the NBA, and you can find all of our podcasts on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. Download us and listen later. We'll be back. We're going to have a little break.
I don't know.
A little break. Ben's having a kid this week.
Scary.
So we're going to have a little break. We'll keep you up to date, but we're hoping to get something later next week.
Yeah, maybe next week at some point. Maybe the end of next week, probably.
Yep.
But we'll
Sounds
see.
good.